10 likes and dislikes in the 2021 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury. Starting off with our first like would be the lights interior and exterior. Let me give you a look. Right now the high beams are on. Right now the headlights are on, along with the hazards. Inside the front headlights, you get a couple cool designs like this one, along with the Cadillac name inside the headlight. And then on the turn signals and daytime running lamps, you get some extra lines for detail. And then down here is a cornering light, so that when you're turning your wheel or when you unlock your car, you can see everything beyond on the side of the vehicle. There are a couple views of the headlights, high beams, turn signals, and cornering lamps during the night. In the rear of the vehicle, you also have a Cadillac crest in the taillight, along with the same detail on the front daytime running lights as you do in the back. Here's your daytime running light, along with your turn signal and brake light, and your reverse lights. Same thing on this side. Again, here are a couple nighttime views of the taillights with the daytime running lamp, along with the license plate lights. For the lights on the inside of the vehicle, they have a completely different story. These lights have great quality and during the night are super bright and give a nice ambiance. Along with that, and I'll show you this at night, or when it's dark out, lights inside the doors light up white, as well as in all these little pockets and under on the floor. And then here's a view of the amazing interior dome lights on the inside of the vehicle during the night. Here is a nighttime view of the interior ambient lighting, along with the dashboard paneling lighting and the floor lighting. Now in these clips, the camera did not entirely pick up the greatness of the ambient lighting at night as it is when you're driving, but trust me when I say it looks amazing during the night when you're driving along the road. One of the most useful lights, on the other hand, are the lights right up here in the liftgate for loading at night, and they light up the floor and this whole loading area. Give you a look. And this is a nighttime view of the overhead lighting just mentioned in the tailgate during the night. One of our next likes in this vehicle is the infotainment system, where you have a wide variety of options ranging from audio, navigation, to even camera views and seeing the weather. You're also able to control your Wi-Fi hotspot, climate, Sirius XM, and the OnStar subscription from this screen. Piggybacking off this screen, you also have the camera app. Now, while this screen is a touchscreen, it was just cleaned, and we're going to try and keep it that way. So we're using the dial in the center console. To hit the camera, you get a wide variety of different camera views. First, you have your 360 camera, which is camera views combined from the front of the vehicle, the side mirrors underneath, as well as the trunk. You're able to highlight forward and rear views, as well as rear zoom from overhead, front zoom from overhead, as well as viewing the front tires and rear tires when parallel parking or in other situations to make sure you're not getting your tires dirty or your rims scratched. Now these two buttons control your 360 view and your guidelines. When you push this button, your lines go away, and when you turn your steering wheel, nothing will direct you in the way you will end up going. But when you have those on, when you turn the wheel, these lines end up moving to show your trajectory. And this button just takes away the surround view if you want it to be gone. On top of the cameras, this is another part of our likes. Now, even though it looks like a mirror, it can also be a digital mirror. Just by flipping this toggle, it uses a camera in the rear of the vehicle to give you a live camera view of what's behind you. You can change the brightness. You can change the zoom. And you could even change the angle of it. And then to go back to a normal mirror, you just push that tab back and you're back to a normal mirror. Moving on up from our digital mirror, we have our OnStar system. This is one of our favorite features because it gives you access to your vehicle from anywhere in the world. If someone steals your vehicle, you can call OnStar and they'll be able to stop your vehicle and turn it off remotely so that the cops and other first responders can help get your vehicle back to you. You also have this button where when you press it, it shows your OnStar subscription status. When you first purchase your vehicle, you get a 1 gigabyte plan for your Wi-Fi hotspot, which is 4G LTE, as well as your OnStar advisor call, turn-by-turn directions, and then your Wi-Fi hotspot options. Now, from that button, you can also manage your OnStar subscriptions, but you also have these two buttons. Now, this blue OnStar button is your button to get in contact with a OnStar advisor who can help you find directions to the nearest gas station or restaurant, as well as even help get you out of a sticky situation like you're in a ditch or you need help finding information about your vehicle. Now, this button is actually cool because if you have a light on your gauge cluster that you don't know about, this check engine light doesn't matter right now, but if you ever had a check engine light or your air pressure light, you can hit that blue OnStar button and they'll be happy to give you a diagnostic over the phone and even tell you the error code and what's wrong. Now, this red SOS button is for SOS emergencies as well as Good Samaritan. So if you see something outside your vehicle but you are not involved, you can hit this red SOS button to call help for them and report it as Good Samaritan. Now, along with that, when you have your OnStar subscription, whenever you were to ever get into an accident, this button will be pressed automatically for you and a live OnStar agent will come on and help you through whatever situation. And they will also call whatever first responders and assistance you may need. Now, almost every GM vehicle comes with many OnStar trials. And by going to my.cadillac.com or the OnStar website, you're able to view what plans you have, as well as run diagnostics, see warranty information, service history, and recall information. You can also get owner resources and schedule services from this point on the website. With OnStar, you can also view your plans, payments and history, Wi-Fi hotspot, and vehicle settings. Right now, as I'm pulling up my plans, you'll be able to see all of the free trials that you get when you first buy a brand new GM vehicle, including their connected navigation, remote access, and the OnStar safety and security plan. Now, in just a second, I'm going to go through all of the plans that I currently have as a trial through Cadillac and OnStar, and you'll be able to pause and just see what's included in each plan. To start off, you have the OnStar Safety and Security Plan, which features automatic crash response, emergency services, crisis assist, stolen vehicle assistance, turn-by-turn navigation, roadside assistance, Good Samaritan, and the OnStar Guardian app, which is just like Life 360.
Another one of the plans is the Cadillac Remote Access Plan, which features the Amazon Alexa skill and Google Assistant action, which does require the 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. But you do also have features like the remote key fob, vehicle locate, vehicle status, and send to navigation. And lastly, one of the more noticeable plans is the Cadillac Connected Navigation, which has advanced search options, real-time traffic, one-tap guidance, as well as real-time point of interests. Now what you're looking at right now is a graph developed and shared by OnStar, giving you plans at a glance, showing you certain things that are highlighted features in different plans that you're able to get for OnStar-equipped vehicles.
Another one of our favorite features is the heads-up display. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I will zoom in on it for you so you can see. That is your heads-up display right there. It shows your miles per hour along with your heading north, east, south, and west, and you can even change it to show your RPMs and speed, as well as what position you are in on the gear shifter, as well as the speed limit when driving. It'll also show your radio controls, and when you have your navigation set, the instructions will show up under your miles per hour, so you know exactly where to go and you don't have to take your eyes off the road. Now, one of the last favorite features up front, next to the driver and passenger, is a wireless charging pad. So you can put your phone in there when you're driving, and it will charge on this pad while you're driving. Now, if you were to get into an accident, that pouch would safely hold your phone so it doesn't become a flying projectile throughout the vehicle. And they actually make this really easy to clean because you're able to remove this pad, clean it, and then just put it right back in there. Set for me at 6 foot, this seat is perfectly set and I have plenty of legroom.
Here's a picture from the side to help give you a better perspective on how much space I have.
Set for me at 6 foot, I have plenty of legroom in the passenger seat, and there is more room to go, even while still leaving the second row passengers with legroom.
Here's a picture from the side to help give you a better perspective on how much space I have.
Hopping into the second row, I have plenty of legroom behind a 6 foot person in the driver's seat and even in the passenger seat. I can even recline my seat all the way back for a more relaxed ride.
Here's a picture from the side to help give you a better perspective on how much space I have.
In the third row of the vehicle, when you push the seat back to get in, it leaves you a little bit of space. Now, I am almost 6 foot, and I have about an inch of legroom, but footroom is pretty tight. Now, sitting in the third row with the other seat fully back, I have no room for my legs. I am pushing up against the back of the seat. I can't even fit my feet in. But as soon as I do this, just let it forward a little, I can move my feet in. And then when it comes back, it goes to leaving me about an inch or two of legroom. On to one of my last favorites, the trunk. Now, to get into it, you can either hit the button in here, up here, inside the vehicle, on the key fob, or by just kicking underneath the vehicle. Now, space in the trunk, once you have the third row seats up, you don't get a lot, but there's enough to store about a week's worth of groceries. But then to put the seats down, you can just push these two buttons and hold them, and the seats go down very fast. Then you have a wide load room, as well as this little pocket for storage, and then underneath, you have another pocket for storage, and underneath is your safety equipment and spare tire. Hopping into the third row again, there's not a ton of storage spaces, but there is a space for a water bottle. It fits a Poland Spring water bottle very generously, and there is room for a bigger one. Same thing on the passenger side, cup holder, Enough room for a Poland Spring bottle and a generous amount of room for something bigger. As we enter the second row, there is a cup holder in each door. Can be a little tight, but other than that, it really doesn't hold much more other than a couple pieces of paper. But this is where it gets cool. So when you have the bucket seating in the 2021 Cadillac XT6, you need a place for cup holders and storage. So you lift this lever and pull this drawer out. You get two good-sized cup holders that fit a Poland Spring bottle perfectly, and there's still generous room for bigger. And then you have this nice storage container that can fit my hand a little bit closed up, but it is very big. Better view of the cup holder and the passenger doors in the rear of the vehicle. As you can see, there isn't much room for anything else. Now up front is where storage gets real. First off, you have your cup holder in the door with plenty of room for something else. In fact, you could probably fit close to 2 water bottles in there. Along with that, you have 2 cup holders right here that can be covered by this little shade whenever you want. And just like the back, they can hold 2 different Poland Spring water bottles, as well as coffee mugs, and there is still generous space for more of a bottle. As well as right here, you have a place to store maybe your key, or glasses, or gum, maybe a piece of paper, or parking tickets. You can put that kind of stuff right there. And then in here, you have this little tray area, and it's not too deep, but it's enough space to hold maybe a couple pieces of, maybe a couple pens or some bank slips. And then you could even put your key in that little pouch down there if your key battery ever dies. There is a video on that on our YouTube channel, so go check it out. I'll link it above in the iCard and in the description section of this video. So let's just put this back in here. Same thing on the passenger door with the cup holder, as well as a glove box. And then one of the more fun storage places is underneath the center console, also underneath the gear shifter, which is right there. You have this nice little space to store maybe tissues or something like that, as well as a little 12-volt plug right there. Our last of 10 favorite features to make this video is the quietness of the vehicle, including the exhaust. Once you give it a sec to idle, it is not very loud at all. It's also very smooth sounding. As you can see, it did get quieter. And just to access the vehicle, we'll push that button. I'll even give you a sample of what it sounds like inside. Climate control is on, but you can barely hear the engine. Then when you're ready to go, you just put your foot on the brake and push the start button, and then you're ready to go.
If you experience any...
As you can see, it is very, very quiet in this vehicle. With our dislikes, we're going into the driver door, and it's this right here. Now this is the way it is in a lot of GM vehicles. This is the trunk release. This knob controls where it opens, and when you push it, it opens and closes the trunk. Personally, I don't like this location, and I wish it was in this overhead panel. Somewhere maybe up here or within this vicinity. Or like a lot of non-American made cars, somewhere over here. Now in this vehicle, while the trim pieces are very nice, their shiny gloss finishes make for easy scratches, along with the plastic down here on the doors and even by the seatbelt. It all gets scratched very easily, along with fingerprints. Fingerprints make a huge mess in this vehicle, especially down here on the gear shifter and on the infotainment display, as well as on the door handles, which are nice, by the way. Another one of our dislikes is that there are no rear seat controls to put up or down the third row seating or put the second row seating flat, like in the Cadillac Escalade along with the Chevy Tahoe. Quite frankly, it seems pretty simple to put some buttons up there to control all these rear seats, like you can back here, where you can put down this third row, as well as plop the second row down. On the bright side, if you're a third row passenger and the third row isn't already up, you can put the seats up from the second row on both sides. One of our other dislikes in this vehicle is the gauge cluster. I think that for the year of this vehicle being 2021 and its competitor or its sister being the Cadillac Escalade having the full digital dash, I think that this could have been a full step up instead of this 6-inch display. It could have been a full digital dash like in the 2021 Volvo XC90. But the nice thing is you still have all of your trips, timers, following distance, as well as your driver's assistant features, your temperatures of everything, as well as the speed, audio, navigation, phone, and then your settings. But when the whole dashboard is lit up when you start the vehicle, it looks really nice. One of our other dislikes speaking in the front of the vehicle is how when you shift the vehicle out of park into drive, neutral, or reverse, it doesn't take off the parking brake automatically. And when you put the car into park by pushing this button, it doesn't put the parking brake on automatically. Instead, you have to push this button every time you want to take it off and put it on, which for 2021 isn't the greatest feature, especially considering this is a $61,000 Cadillac and a 2019 Ram 1500 for about $50,000 turns the parking brake on and off automatically every time you shift in and out of park. Another one of our dislikes is the air vents in the front and rear of the vehicle. Now, while the HVAC system is great and blows cold air fast and hot air fast, these air vents don't have the best design in the world. These two air vents in the front of the vehicle on the dash right above the infotainment system aren't very adjustable toward the driver or passenger. Instead, going the opposite way is off, and it should be this way as off. So your air, if you wanted it really strong, you would have to cross it, and it's still not that great. Sometimes these air vents on the side get very underpowered, so with these air vents not being directed toward the driver or passenger, it's very hard to get air when these ones start to get underpowered for a little bit. Now, in the second and third row, while you do have a great climate control system back here, because this is a 3-zone climate control vehicle, these air vents are not very great. When they're off, they're facing towards you, and you don't have much maneuverability towards you. Instead, it's toward the driver or passenger in front. So when you want a lot of air, it's closer being turned off than actually aiming towards you. But the angles are pretty nice when you do it this way. And if there isn't anybody sitting in the third row of the vehicle, you can push these air vents toward you, and you'll get a good breeze from the back. But then if there's someone back there, they also get screwed like they do in the second row because all the way back is off. Getting into the third row is not the simplest task, especially from the driver's side of the vehicle. The driver's side, when you lift on this lever, it folds forward and you just hop in. Getting out is the same way. But from the passenger side, it is slightly easier as the seat lifts up and tips forward, so you have a little more room to get in. Still a little complicated, but we're in. Let me just hop out. seat back, reset the bottom, and then you're good to go. The last feature we don't like is that when you lock the vehicle, the mirrors don't fold automatically, and when you unlock the vehicle, they don't unfold automatically. Now, while you are able to close them and open them from the outside of the vehicle, most people generally use this button, or when they walk away from the vehicle, it locks, and that's when they would like their mirrors to close. But instead, you either have to close them inside by using this mirror button, and then they'll close, or by pressing the lock button and then holding it until they close. Same with opening. It's not a lot of work, but for a $60,000 vehicle, it should be like that, considering some of its competitors are Mercedes brands as well as BMW. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next time we upload. See you in the next video. Peace.